Welcome to the February-March 2018 video update from Patch County High School. Thanks for taking the time to look at this and hear about what's going on. Today I have with me David Baden. And David, you are a junior at Patch County High School. David's going to actually talk about a few things, but the main reason I had David come in is that I wanted him to talk a little bit about our annual trip that our government students take to Columbus to visit the State House and the Supreme Court, right? It was the Supreme Court this year. And so David's going to tell us a little bit about that. So David, kind of just tell how the day's pretty early start, right?
Yes, it was a pretty early start. We got here to load on the bus around 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock is when we wanted to leave. And then on the trip down, once we got there, we started with the Supreme Court building.
Okay. So the first stop was the Supreme Court building.
Yes.
And was there a case?
No, we were not able to view a case, but we were able to go into one courtroom where in class we saw a viewing of a court case in that exact same place.
Okay. So you could draw some connections from when you were in Hamler to when you were in Columbus, right? Yeah, good. And then you got to go over to the State House. Mm-hmm. Okay. And what did you observe there?
At the State House, at first, I remember our class standing around a model of Ohio on the floor, and then it also displayed all the counties. And then Mr. McCulley came and he's introduced us really quick, and he pointed to where he was from and just gave us a little synopsis about what we were going to see.
So Mr. McCulley is Senator McCulley.
Yeah.
And where did he tell you he was from?
Napoleon.
Yeah, he's from Napoleon. And so did he go out on the floor and work, or what did you get to see while you were there?
So next we went to view a Senate session, and there Senator McCulley also introduced us and allowed us to lead the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's not everybody gets a chance to do that.
Yeah.
So were we the only school there that day, or?
I think we were the only large school group. There were a couple other individuals there that I remember from the court case, or from the Senate case at least.
Okay. All right. So how was it compared to what you expected?
I thought it was really interesting. It blew me away just to at least meet Senator McCulley. And then while we were on our way to view the House, I was also able to talk to Jim Hoops a little bit.
Good. Yeah, I was going to ask you about Mr. Hoops, if he met with you guys also. Yeah, so he's a local person too that works in Columbus now. So is this your first time going to visit these places?
This was my first time visiting.
Good. You've had quite a few experiences in life, even though you're young. So this is a good experience for you, and we'll keep doing it so that other students get to have the experience. So
it's a good experience.
Well, David, since you're here, I thought we'll have you talk about one other thing that's personal to you, but it's a really, really neat honor. Go ahead and tell everybody that might be watching a little bit about what's going on with your current science fair project.
So with my current science fair project, I was able to compete in regionals and district science fair. And from districts, I was able to move on to state science fair. And from regionals, this year I am able to compete in the International Science and Engineering Fair that will be held in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so when I hear International Science and Engineering Fair, I mean, that sounds pretty elite.
Yeah, it is. I think it's about 65 countries from around the world, all with sending representatives with their science fair projects, all gathered in one place.
And for you, this will actually be your second time experiencing it. Last year, you were able to go to LA, right?
Yes.
And observe. You were an observer. And so this year you're presenting.
Yes.
Yeah. So what was the difference? How did it go from being an observer to presenting this year?
So like the difference in my project per se, or
was there a higher score that you received at some level in judging, or how did that work?
So at regionals, in order to at least be considered for going to internationals, I had to be super judged, and I was super judged last year as well. And I performed well.
Yeah.
But this year I was able to perform a little bit better.
Yeah, great. And so there's another local person going too, right?
To
the international. Someone from
internationals.
Pettisville?
Yes, there are 3 other Pettisville
3
students that I'm going with.
So there's 4 students from our little corner here of the state going to the International Science Fair. That's pretty amazing. So how about just tell a little bit about your project? I know I know a little bit about it, and sometimes it's pretty hard for me to understand, but just go ahead and tell a little bit about it.
So my project this year was on biodigesters, which was a continuation off of last year's project. And so basically what I did is I took leftover food scraps that I had around and some manure from my rabbits, and I got some from my chickens as well. And I talked to the Seedorfs about cow manure, and I put that in an airtight bucket, and I put in I also had some bacteria that I put in that digest the food scraps and manure, and they do that without oxygen. So it was an airtight bucket. And then when they digest, they produce biogas, which was mainly consisting of methane. And then I burnt the methane to see how much energy I would get out of it.
And what's your interest in this topic? How did you become interested?
So how I became interested in this was before I was interested in the biodigesters, I was doing airplane projects just to try and improve airfoils. And Mr. Perry told me that these are good projects. We definitely need these. But the big question right now is, how do we get renewable energy without using fossil fuels? And someone from my church, his name is John Dravis, he was the former biodigester operator at Campbell's. He, introduced me to biodigesters, and I thought, seems like it'd work for a good source of renewable energy.
Yeah, so it kind of had a suggestion from your teacher, had a community person you made contact with, and it kind of made sense that this is what you're going to explore. Yeah, well, that's great, David. We're proud of you, and we wish you good luck. When is it?
It is around the middle of May.
Yeah, middle of May. I think the week of May 14th, if I recall right.
Yeah.
And so you'll go there and spend some time with the other students. You'll be at the fair itself, and you'll present, but you also have time to look around and see the other projects. From being there last year, do you still stay in contact with some of the people you met?
Not exactly. However, I was able to leave. I feel like I did leave an impression, even though I was an observer. Because there are points where you get to intermingle with other students, and it's not just about science fair. It's just like a small meet and greet, and there was a pin exchange. And so I was able to meet people that way.
Good. Well, again, David, we're proud of you. Thanks for sharing about the government trip. Thanks for sharing about your science fair project. Good luck to you. I know you'll do a great job. And again, thanks for sharing. So I'll take a few more minutes here to finish up the update, just with some general information. Again, this update will serve as the February and March update for the high school here. And as we get to the end of March, just know that the 9 weeks is ending on March 23rd. As we get to the end and we get to the point where grade cards would typically be going out, just as a reminder, this is the first year we're not sending hard grade cards home. If you would like a hard grade card, you can go to our website and request one through the parent link drop-down menu. If not, then we would expect that you would look through the parent Power School portal. And again, if you're unsure how to do that, you can look in our current newsletter. There's a Stay Connected section that would give all those directions. Or again, you could go to the parent drop down on our website and learn from that also. One of the things I guess that all of you hopefully have been reading about in some communications from the school is that we are having students eliminate the use of backpacks starting with the 4th 9 weeks. So it would be March 26th would be the first day. Students that won't be permitted to carry backpacks during the school day. Every student is given a locker here with a combination lock. So we're doing this, obviously, number one, just a good time for us to examine some safety concerns and maybe the way we do some things. And we feel like it would be better off for us in the long run if we just eliminated the use of backpacks for that safety concern, also for the clutter that the backpacks do cause in classrooms or even in the cafeteria for ease of moving around in that environment. So for all those reasons, we're eliminating those during the school day, and obviously that will move into next year and the year after that. Students have known about this for going on. They would have known for about 4 weeks leading up to March 26th, so we've given them ample time to make adjustments and give it a shot during the school day. Encourage your students to do that as we get to March 26th. In terms of communications, just as a reminder, we would need an updated email address for you in Final Forms if we don't have that. We do send quite a bit of communication out through Final Forms and email addresses we have there for parents. So please, you can go to our current newsletter, you can go to our website and search Final Forms, or go to our newsletter and click on the link if you need to update an email address. If you need help with that, please do contact the office here and we can help you with that. But that is our way of connecting with you via email. And we are trying to cut down on mass mailings that come from the office now so that we can use our email contacts with you. So again, the 9 weeks ends on March 23rd, and then that would get us started into the fourth 9 weeks on March 26th. And that fourth 9 weeks goes really quickly. So please, as parents and guardians, do monitor your students' grades through PowerSchool. If you have a question about them, please do call us. If any time you have questions, give us a call so we can help you out. Thanks for taking a look at this update.